Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Monday Memo. Now I've shared a few times on this podcast that it was actually a 15-minute conversation with a mentor to help change the direction and success of my career in finance. But up until then I was slow to ask for help and even slower still to pick up on the idea that mentors could even help me in my career. So let's say you take the brave step to seek out a finance mentor and they agree to mentor you. How do you get the most out of them? Well, the right mentors know where to focus your attention and how to challenge you. Their knowledge and their experience become yours, right? So they provide immediate, and if it's a face to face or quite a close relationship, more realistic feedback on your work. So you can improve more rapidly. You can absorb their successful ways of thinking that when you adapt them to your own scenarios can actually contain the seeds of your future success in accounting and finance. So where do you start then? Well, there's always someone out there in finance that knows more than we do ourselves. And everyone we encounter is an opportunity for us to learn something new. So to learn requires a sense of humility, and this means we must admit that there are people who know our field better than we do and more deeply than we do. Their superiority is not necessarily a function of their natural talent and privilege. No, it's more rather one of a time and experience gained over that time. The next area I'd encourage you then to get the most out of your mentors to have a sense or an image of what your ideal career looks like for you. I mean, this can actually appear harder than it sounds because many of us in finance are actually unable to articulate what our ideal career outcomes look like, even though we're actually frustrated with where we are currently. It's a little ironic, but I think in this case we might need to take some of our own medicine and actually prescribe ourselves a much clearer picture of what our ideal career outcome looks like, what type of position we will be holding, the conversation we will be involved in, the decisions we're making, the salary, whether it's got line management responsibility or not, or the type of company, industry, location, hours, flexibility, work-life balance, and so on and so on. Thinking and focusing on all the negative aspects on our current work would only bring more of the same. So having a sense in our minds of what we want our final outcome to be will help us more quickly notice when the right mentor will appear in our careers so we can actually know to ask for help. And then rather than waiting for stuff to happen, why not actively seek out mentors who best fit our needs of where we want to be going anyway and help us develop our career plan? This becomes easier when we have an idea of our career plan or career strategy and some of the steps we need to start taking. As such then there's actually a better chance we'll spot the right mentor when they come along. So why leave it to chance? We're now living in a much more connected world, so let's get out there and network. Or if it's more comfortable to go on LinkedIn and research finance professionals doing the work we'd like to be doing, well, identify those, search for those and connect with them, explaining your situation and how you think they might be able to help. And then when you do connect, absorb what's useful. It may not always be might not always be possible to find that perfect mentor, so you may need to seek out several mentors in your immediate environment, each one filling strategic gaps in your knowledge and experience. Having more than one mentor has side benefits. It's giving you several connections and potentially important allies to rely upon later. And as Bruce Lee said, absorb what's useful, discard what's not, and make what is uniquely your own. You can do this then by using your mentor as a mirror so that they can show to you where you're perhaps weakest. And I encourage you, don't be frightened or afraid to see yourself in this way. It comes back to the point around humility. If you want to get the most out of your mentors, welcome their critical feedback points and their realistic suggestions, as these will ultimately help increase your confidence and ability. And once you've internalized their knowledge, you must move on to the next mentor. Okay, so what if you're stuck in finding a mentor? Well, sometimes for whatever reason, it may be hard to access mentors directly, so books, particularly autobiographies, can serve as temporary mentors, particularly if you've done the work to know what your ideal career looks like, sounds and feels like. Another additional resource is our Strength in the Numbers show, where we bring on guest mentors from all around the world of finance who hold many different roles with many years of diverse experiences to share with you their stories and hard-won lessons, as well as what's worked for them, what they've practically figured out, how they've leveraged their strengths, and we deconstruct all those items for you in a way that allows you to take similar steps, so in order to contribute more value to your organizations and become more influential in your work, not only faster, but also because you'll have along the way more fun, and it'll make your career more rewarding and ultimately more successful as a finance professional. So look, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it with your friends and colleagues. Let them know we're on all the major platforms: iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And look, really hope you sort of better appreciate now how to make the most out of mentor relationships or finding a mentor. And don't be frightened to ask for help. We had a recent guest mentor say it's not a sign of weakness, it's actually quite the opposite, it's a sign of strength. So take that first step, and until next time, take care of yourselves and let's keep on building our strength in the numbers.